Well, we are in the middle of a historic 4-year drought. Governor Brown has implemented mandatory water restrictions, and here in San Diego County, we are cracking down on water wasters. And joining us now to help us reduce our water consumption is Sean Johnson and the Approved Home Pros. Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you.
Well, if you're like most people, I know you are, you're very concerned about saving water in the home. And there's some things that are water wasters a lot of people may not be aware of. That's why we have Scott Farrell from Black Mountain Plumbing in today, Greg Cantor, Murray Lampert Design, Build, Remodel, 40 plus years with Murray Lampert. Greg, water savings and water conservation is a big topic, but a lot of people don't know some of the things that are using the water.
Sure, and Scott, for our viewers that don't already know your company, tell us a little bit about why you're different. I know your plumbers are non-commissioned, which is kind of unique, but what else do you offer with your plumbing services?
Real life craftsmanship and integrity, for sure.
Yeah, in terms of plumbers around San Diego, we highly recommend Black Mountain Plumbing. They're just head and shoulders above the other companies that are out there. Scott, for us, can you list the most common water wasters in the average home?
For sure, it's toilets, old toilets, leaking toilets, toilets that are like leaking past the flapper. You need to check on that. There's a way to check that. We'll go into it in a minute. But faucets and drippy hose bibs, irrigation, usage, how you take a shower, how you shave. That's a really big one.
Well, we were talking off air, Greg. It's the toilet for most homes is one of the major water wasters.
Right, and you have to decide whether you sort of rebuild the toilet and put a new valve in it,
right,
or if the toilet's over 10 years old, right, it's probably better just to replace it. It's probably less labor just to replace the whole toilet.
Yeah, for a lot of reasons. If a toilet's 10 years old, that's our benchmark. The siphon jets are clogged with calcium and lime because of our rotten water, so they're not going to flush very good. They're going to use a lot of water, and then they're going to start needing maintenance, and they're starting to be to the point where they're a liability to have in your home. So over 10 years, the toilets that I have now, which are the high efficiency toilets, wow, there's some great new toilets now. I would
right,
way more.
And for $200 or $300, you could have a new toilet that's going to perform much better.
And also, if people have a question about is their toilet potentially leaking, which can cause a lot of different problems, you brought a test that people can do that's very, very easy.
Yeah, these are free tablets. The Water Authority, any hardware store will give them to you. You just put the food coloring basically in there, and you'll see that in the tank. This is simulating a toilet tank. So take the lid off, put the dye in there, food coloring if you have it, and then don't flush it. And if that colored water goes from the tank into the bowl, then this needs replaced. So
another common water waster is hose bibs that leak, and it's a very inexpensive part, but it can leak and cost hundreds of dollars in water costs. So
yeah, a lot of times, when you turn the faucet on, the water will spray around the handle. Mm-hmm. Just tighten this up right here. This is a packing nut. Just make sure you hold on to your faucet and just tighten the packing nut up a little bit. And when the water's running through the faucet, and you'll see it stop, and just tighten the packing nut up. It'll take you a minute, not even a minute.
That's a great tip.
They're never going to leak anymore.
You brought something else that I thought was very interesting as one of the water alarms. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, well,
this is really cool.
Yeah, he wants me to get him some of these for his customers, so I'd be glad to. But this is super good because a lot of times there's a small leak with all the different things going on underneath your kitchen sink, whether it's waste or water or Instahot or something. Underneath your kitchen sink, back in the cabinet, you stick this there, and there's these two wires on here that'll touch water, and it'll sound like a smoke detector. And it's a cheap and easy deal. When we do the whole house inspections, we give these to people.
I highly recommend for $59 to do a whole house inspection and find out really where your weaknesses are. Ask for one of these units, and it's a great deal.
That's a great tip. We have a social media question. Actually, normally it's a social media question, but today it's actually a question from me and my family.
Okay.
We have kids that don't understand the words short shower. Are there any kind of alarms or timers that you can put on a shower, or are we stuck with our mini water wasters?
There's an app for that,
okay,
but you could also just man up and be dad and beat on the door. I think that'd be the good way.
We've beaten on that door quite a bit, but we're working on them, and we're getting them to take short showers and understand the responsibility.
You could just turn the main line valve off, and then
Absolutely.
They'll be standing there with no water.
Oh, that's genius! I love that.
Do you have a tankless?
No, we do not have a tankless system.
The good thing about a tankless water heater is you can just unplug a tankless water heater and it's turn off the water immediately.
That's
no more
kind of
hot
devious.
I'm getting some really good ideas here. So we said something earlier that I want to make sure that we go back to is you offer an evaluation for $59. You'll come out to the home and look at the water usage and give recommendations, correct?
Yeah, we're not going to do an audit. That's a whole nother episode, but or exercise. But we'll give an evaluation of the things that are causing problems or could be causing problems.
Perfect. Well, with Scott Farrell, Black Mountain Plumbing, you can reach them 619-399-2203. We highly recommend Black Mountain Plumbing. They're going to help you save water and do anything you need with plumbing.
Thank you.
I have to say, I just want to be your daughter with like a hair full of shampoo and then dad just pulls the plug. That's all I'm saying. But great advice, a simple fix of a toilet or a hose, and that can trickle down to tremendous savings.
Absolutely. There's so many ways to save water that people aren't aware of. Even coming down to just simple things like turning off that faucet when you're doing when you're brushing your teeth or any of those kinds of things.
Yeah.
And we all have to do our part. Sean Johnson and the Approved Home Pros, thank you so much for your time. We certainly do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.